It was the mid-1980s. With the Black Monday stock market crash on the horizon, a small landscape business was born to provide interior and exterior plantings and arrangements for commercial and hospitality properties. Things were touch and go, especially as the smoke cleared from the sudden collapse of the Central Texas economy at the time. Still, the founder, Rose Vincent, persisted on, creating the foundation that would later grow beyond her expectations. I'm Kellen with Land, Water, Light, where we help luxury homeowners achieve resort-style living. In this video, I will tell you a story of the little landscape company that could. That little company was known as Vincent Landscapes Incorporated. From the late 80s all the way through the 90s and into the early 2000s, the company grew little by little, expanding into different territories, mainly moving into exterior, residential, and some commercial landscapes. At the time, it was very plant focused. And then as it kind of grew, the company ended up partnering with some masonry firms and expanded some of their abilities to move into a little bit more hardscape. Pinnacle project, prior to my arrival, was Remembrance Gardens at Riverbend Church, which is a mainstay church in Austin. And that project took years of construction and on-the-ground design, really trying to make the waterfalls and the various columbarium areas really flow with the natural landscape. I joined in 2009 after getting my degree in landscape architecture, and one of the first things that I did was start to look at kind of that business side and what strengths were and what we were kind of lacking. At the time, we were all word of mouth. We had no real online presence. I don't think we even had an email address at that point. And it was one of those things that I knew, given kind of my background in the landscape architecture world, that we could do a lot better as far as being able to really showcase what we could do. As time wore on, I started to invest in larger projects, doing amenities and multifamily, a lot of commercial properties. As that kept developing, I loved the scale and that type of work, but I really lacked the personal connection with the client. At the end of the day, it was a lot based on ROI and less based on kind of what the individual needs of the people experiencing the space were. And then we shifted into high-end residential. That was a kind of a big push. We had always done residential in the past. It just kind of became one of those things where we leaned heavier into it and less plant-based and more construction-based. And that's where things really started to snowball and create some momentum. Then about, 2014, I took an interest in lighting. It was something that had come up on various projects, and we'd always kind of been a subcontracted or afterthought really on most of our projects. So about that time, I started really looking, going, this is interesting. I'd always had an affinity for lighting design when I used to do computer animation and graphics, and really that environmental lighting was a huge part of how you really create these scenes. So I researched and explored products and made some great connections with vendors that I still work with today. At that time, I brought in some color change. I really learned how to deal with color change technology back before it was really a consumer-oriented space. It was all commercial and kind of complex to develop those sort of projects. The lighting bug bit me, so that was a huge part of bringing that in, and it was something since especially 2016, where I participated in the International Landscape Lighting Institute intensive course. Really just transformed my view, not only on our lighting, but really how that lighting could really enhance and improve the spaces that we're designing, and really made me a better designer altogether. So that's when kind of this first rebrand experience started kind of playing. I always knew I wanted to bring lighting into the forefront of what we do. I think there's sometimes a challenge of landscapers kind of doing lighting as a side, and that's, honestly how we are treating it for a long time, versus really having lighting be at the forefront of our offerings and what we're passionate about. So this first brand really kind of became an attempt to bring lighting into the front of our offerings and make it important. So that's when we rebranded from Vincent Landscapes Inc. to Vincent Land and Light. Part of the reason for keeping the name, we were trying to keep kind of that brand collateral that we had built up over years and years of working with clients and architects and builders and everyone related to this profession. But bringing the land and light portion back in really kind of helped make those parallel, because honestly, they take equal importance in what we do. It was a step in the right direction. It was one of those things that we started to develop with some partners to develop the brand and the feel, but one thing that was missing is I just didn't feel it got deeper. And that's really where we started looking again on how we create not only a brand that fit, really what our offerings were, but just the same as our landscapes create an experience, we want to really create an experience with our brand and make that exemplify not only, quality design and construction, but also that concierge 5-star hospitality feel and that luxury presence that only strong, transcendent brands can really create. And that's where we started hunting and really digging deep into this process about 6 to 9 months ago. So the next steps and the next videos that we'll cover is getting deeper into this about, kind of my personal experiences and what I wanted to achieve, as well as really some of the processes and really how we did it and how bringing a great branding agency and photographers and just amazing teams made this brand come to life, and I'm super excited to show you. In the meantime, go follow our social media. Instagram's Land Water Light, same with Facebook. We're Land Water Light as well on YouTube, where these videos plus many more are going to be posted. Video is going to become a very important way of how we're going to really show off not only the projects we can do, but our team and just how unique Land Water Light is in this space. Hopefully energize and really get the creative juices flowing for maybe your next project or a project that you're working on with a client. So until that next video, I will see you then.